Let's lay out our March 2026 menu. Hi, I'm Nick, former medical doctor turned soul doctor. I work in the realms of consciousness, of disease healing, of awakening to the inner gifts, of remembering self, of unlearning. And this is being posted on Bitcoin Breath right now because I'm playing with new platforms. I'm playing with new ways of being. I'm playing with the people who are pioneers and whoever finds this. And I'm setting out this menu because a lot of my clients, friends, advocates have said, how do we actually support people who want to see you, who could benefit from you, from knowing what's available, because many people don't actually know. And I'm grateful that I have such amazing allies and advocates that remind me it's like the work you're doing for the people that ask for you, profound. And you get in the way a lot because I can make it complex. I love doing bespoke work. I love diving in deep. I love that I have such a diverse background that I can be a philosopher king, that I can actually support people who are diving through deep journeys. And I'll plant a couple seeds. I've managed to heal from my lifelong asthma. I had been suicidal, depressed, post-traumatic stress 15 years ago, and now I'm living the best life ever. I get to be a father, husband. I'm living the life as I choose. I'm full of play and joy, even though there are moments that things really hit the fan. I've taken sabbaticals, including 3 months in Hawaii recently, and I am remembering what a gift it is to have had my parents, because they've helped me get to this point in life, and I used to think it was a curse. And I am surrounded by people who are doing amazing things. I don't agree with all of them in all the ways, but I know that the world is stepping into itself, and I believe in cycles, not just linear time. We're not just advancing. So with that said, I offer work in breath, and I offer work in the medicine space. I offer work for individuals, I offer work for groups, and I complement a lot of organizations. And so I'll start there because it's the least likely thing. So I just came back from working with my dear friend Judy Brooks in Brew Creek near Whistler, British Columbia, Canada, on a program called Sweet Features, where I got to come in for the breath during a 3-day program. I came in just for an hour of breath for 20 female business leaders, entrepreneurs, who are doing amazing things and helping them drop into a space where they can actually be with themselves. And unlike the old days of rebirthing where things seem cathartic, it was very integrative, quiet. And yet from there, I could hear the whispers of a profound experience, people feeling the love, the centeredness, the guidedness. And I look forward to hearing how things are impacted. And it's so much fun for me to come into a container like that, where I know that Judy holds them with such trust, reverence, where she guides them through the mind, where she guides them to actually plant seeds for themselves. And I get to play my part, come and go. And so I say that because I've worked with coaching organizations, I've worked with other groups, I've worked with people who have been through injuries, families, everything else like that. And it's so much fun to be able to come into a container and support. And so if that's something that you're considering, reach out. Everything is on our Ohana Sage website. And then I come back to the breath. So I do private sessions and I do group sessions. I do them online and I do them in person. I love doing things in person. It's so much fun to be with someone. And it's very accessible to do online, whether it's 90 minutes or 120 minutes. And that in US dollars is $369 or $500 for a private, which can include up to like 2, 3, 4 people. And then if you're looking for a group, 10 people or more, then usually starts at about $1,000. And I say that because it is profound when you have a group. And when I bring a group together without a container like what I did for stepping into it, I usually ask for at least 3 hours because I want to be able to set the stage. I want to be able to set the stage, have people land, have people breathe, and then come back and share and integrate. And when we're doing a private, if it's just one-on-one, 90 to 120 minutes is perfect. Depends on how much time you need for yourself in order to go through your own story. And my recommendation for more people is less story, more feeling to heal. And know that this isn't usually a one-shot wonder, but as someone just said to me recently, she did one breath with me and she's like, that lasted for like 2 months. And so know that this space, this container can create what you need to feel your own medicine. So that's the breath piece. And this can be used as a group healing, it can be used to bring families together, it can be used to bring organizations together. It's a place where you can feel safe enough to tap into your own medicine. And then for those who are ready to tap into the medicine of consciousness, and there's so many medicines of consciousness, whether you want to come here to British Columbia, Canada, or whether you want it somewhere else. I've done work on Big Island. I have done work in other parts of Canada, and all these things are possible. There's the day ceremony, there's the mind, body, soul work, and then there's the full bespoke work. And so these start at 1 day for the day ceremony, about 3 days that you'd want to set aside for the mind, body, soul, and I'd set aside for a week for the bespoke. And why would you want to do the bespoke? Well, if you're coming with any severe, serious dis-ease, I've had people come with stage 4 cancer, not that we're looking at curing it, because if you come with that mindset, I can cure it, you're going to get stuck because you're getting stuck on the concept of disease, and we'll talk about that. But if you come in with, I want to make the biggest effort I can and get the most support from the diverse set of people, because that's the thing. I will work with people who do body work, do esoteric work, who may even do blood cleaning work, who do pharmacology work, all these different things, because how do I work with amazing people to create what you want and then be able to help you with setting up new patterns and create spaces where you have the intuition to say, what next? And then there's the 3-day mind, body, soul. You're realizing that you're holding so much in the mind and the body. And if you clear those up before you tap into this work, how much more profound it can be. And I really appreciate that when people can actually set aside those 3 days. And that's where I recommend most people come in for their first time with me. For those who've returned or are really clear what they have or have a really clear support structure, you can come in for the 1-day private ceremony. That is going to be a place where the depth that we dive into will be determined by how clear you are. And for most people, unless you're coming back for a mini reset, so to speak, the clarity may not be there yet. And even for myself, I only came to that recently that I received that. Before, I needed much more work to get clear. And so just to let you know, for the bespoke work, it starts at about 0.1111 Bitcoin, which right now, today's date and pricing is around $7,777 US. The 3-day mind, body, soul is about $4,444 US. And the 1 day is about $2,500 US. And there are more details about that, but those are some basics of what's going on. And then we talk about group ceremonies, but those are things that people will reach out for if they really want to create. And finally, we're creating some really bespoke adventures, activations, pilgrimages this year. We're going to go to May and in December to Egypt for 2 weeks at a time for an activation. And this is with my dear founding partner, Matt Lim. And we're going to create some real magic there. And if you've had a calling for Egypt, you already know, and you're going to reach out. Go to the website, apply. Even if you're not sure, go apply so we can reach out to you and connect and see what's actually there. And then in November, soon you'll be seeing information about week-long ceremonies on Big Island in Hawaii. And I plan to be there over the winter time, and I wanted to create this so that people can actually come. And it's a place where I invite you to come for even longer, to really do your work remotely, to bring your family and be with them remotely as well. So there's a lot of different possibilities there, and you'll be able to step into both the receiving and you'll be able to see what the facilitation side looks like. There's so many different opportunities in a group container of conscious people coming together to create lifelong friends, ride or dies, and that's been one of my greatest joys, to have been in some amazing containers where I've created friends for life as well. So this is a bit of the March menu. It's a bit of a longer video. It's not quite coherent and organized in the way of seeing it written down, but having the video out there kind of plants the flag. And I wanted to plant the flag because there's so much work that wants to be done. And know that in the work that I do, what I love about it as well, and some people are going to reach out, is because they want to come and angel. They want to become and see the facilitation side. And there's so much to be learned from that side, and so much you can learn from being part of one-on-ones, small groups. And that's one of my favorite ways to, what we traditionally call teaching, but what I say is it's helping you remember. It's helping you unlearn. It's helping you remember your living lineage. And that's been a big piece of me, and I can speak from experience. Having been trained as a medical doctor, there's been a lot of unlearning to do. Having gotten to where I am, there's been a lot of remembering. People are like, how did you step into this so quickly, so to speak? It's remembering. And then the living lineage is being able to step into the fact that I have a living lineage. So many different lineages that seem to come through, and people are like, are you white? Are you Chinese? Are you South American? Are you Southeast Asian? Are you Hawaiian? And I'm like, I want to embody the parts that want to come through. and I want to learn from so many. And I realize this whole life is just one beautiful remix. Thank you, Matt, for that reminder. All right, looking forward to seeing you. Please reach out. Ohana Sage is our website. Nick@ohanasage.com is an email you can always reach out to. Ciao for now.